All right, so it is about 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles, Wednesday, the 25th of February, AD 2026. It's the day after the State of the Union address. Thank you, our greatest President Trump, for an update and a little reminder about the reality of the situation. And a reminder of your love for the country, our greatest president. I ought to be live on Rumble. I see them supposedly waiting. Yep, indeed. What's up, Rumble crew? George, Tourette, Buddy, 1205, and others. Brandon B., Pastor Chatelet, and Jesse Lee Peterson helped to raid the stream. I'm live on D-Live, streaming my podcast, The Hake Report, live Monday through Friday, coming at you 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time, not quite 11, just after 9, and just barely after, within a minute, usually. Sometimes a little more than a minute. And it's, that's Pacific time, okay? Pacific Daylight Time currently. Oh, my punchy TV appears to be, is it broken? Frowny face, broken thing. Maybe I'll toggle it off and toggle it back on in a minute here. But normally you can catch me on punchy.tv/Hake. Yesterday it seemed to have problems too, not sure. But, you know, that's just a backup, so the backup's not working, but the main ones are working. Rumble, YouTube, D-Live, as I mentioned, pill.net, facebook.com/The Hake Report, pill.net/The Hake Report, x.com/The Hake Report, wherever you prefer. Except I think I either let go of Twitch or I got kicked off of Twitch. I don't think I got kicked off of Twitch. Maybe JLP did, which is ridiculous. Twitch. Truth haters. Amazon owned, by the way. And I will read your super chats. I did see a few came in. One from Cesar yesterday. After I responded to his other coffee about, you know, I forget what it was. Oh, the agenda to infantilize people. Yeah. Acting like I'm the crazy one. They act like I'm the crazy one for saying that a teenager is different from a little child. A teenager is arguably grown in some senses of the word. In some very important senses, by the way, of the word. Anchor Baby, would you do me a favor and toggle? I don't know if it's a black screen. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, thank you, sir. Thank you, Walking Roscoe, who gives a salute saying, have a great show, Mr. Jim. J-I-M. He's one of the few I allow to call me Jim Hake. Love y'all that love you too. Thank you, sir. If I love anyone. Wow, look at that. A beautiful beach, rocky beach. We're going to get going here. The views expressed here do not represent those of Bond or JLP or Anchor Baby or Derek or Punchy TV, which will be live today, y'all. Punchy.tv/Punchy TV, or just go directly to @Punchy, Punchie TV on YouTube. Let's see here. Let me make sure that, okay, what may be going on here. Do I have this? I'm not getting, let me see. Dude, complicated business, folks. Is it another? Aha, thank you, sir. Anchor Baby working his magic. Pushing buttons around those blue lights. Awesome. Shout out. Moses P says, just another offering for Hake with the good hair. Nice shirt also. Yeah, July just feels white. Yes, I know that it's Black History Month for some of you, and I join you in celebrating it, right? because I'm a nice person and I'm not a Grinch, if you will. But I know what it's about. I know what you're about, and sweet. But y'all, we got to get going here. So let's just get right on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how y'all doing? I am fine. I have yes, I mentioned it. My July just feels celebrate White History Month with Jesse Lee Peterson. Very nice. And it is not currently available online for purchase, okay? If you come to the office, you can ask about them and see if we have any stored in the back for you or something. If you come to the Bond for a men's forum or a women's forum, men's forum, maybe next week, because I believe next week would be the first Thursday of the month, and we typically do hold them. Men's forum, first Thursday of the month. Women's forum, third Thursday. Typically, if it for some odd reason gets canceled, it doesn't happen that month, and it gets pushed to the next month. But rebuildingtheman.com/events or church with Jesse Lee Peterson. Or say you come in for in-person counseling. You schedule a counseling appointment at Bond. The office is here, and that is an interesting proposition, maybe. But anyway, I encourage you guys, if sometimes these are limited edition, these shirts, so jump on them if you want them, okay? Hey, guys. And it is February, but it's, a lot of you guys are seeing a lot of white because of the snow. Even this so-called Black History Month. It's not a leap year, I don't believe. So we only go to the 28th, which I believe would be Saturday. So Sunday is going to be the 1st. You get to go to church. You get to pay your rent, or you get to collect rent, or pay your mortgage, or collect the mortgage. Very nice. JLPT. OOP for out of print, right? And thank you guys for the supers, which I read at the start of the show. Very nice. I'll get to your coffees. Oh, let me turn back on the punchy.tv/Hake server. Oh, you did? Oh, oops. I just might have toggled it off. We'll see if that happens. Nice. See if it works. Anchor Baby looking out. I want to talk on the phone, though, with HADEN in Texas, Tejas, on the line, sir. HADEN, how you doing?
Hake, you're a racist, man. You're a racist. It's Black History Month. You're supposed to be giving us time to talk on Black History Month, Hake. You're a racist, man.
Indeed. you
know I'm teasing you, right?
Yes, sir. Of course.
Yeah. Of course it's not literal, but before I get to what I called in about, I saw this one. You may or may not find this humorous, but I saw this one meme on the internet, and I guess it was a cartoon, and the I guess the month was like June or whatever, and it was like a elementary school setting or whatever, and the teacher was going around the room telling the students Happy Father's Day, enjoy spending time with your father and stuff. And then when the black kid came around, the teacher had a paused look on her face, and she said, she said Happy Juneteenth, Jamal.
Oh, that's funny, because Juneteenth falls in June, the same month as Father's Day.
Father's Day.
And Jamal may not have his dad around. It's a lot more common among their population, among those people. What a mess. I did see something to that effect as well, man. What a mess. They did
Yeah.
Juneteenth because they don't have fathers. And that's so true, man. You know, you raise a deep point, actually. I was watching the Bond channel, youtube.com/bondinfo. And there was
I watch it all the time.
there was a premiere on there yesterday about, let's see, of yourself you can do nothing. And Jesse was making
Going
this
on and on
point.
again.
Let's see here. He was making this point about this guy who was, you know, these black Hebrew Israelites.
Right.
He's like, blacks are lost. They're cursed because they don't know who they are, that they're the true Hebrew Israelites. And, you know, we could debunk that or say you have no way of knowing that. But the point is, they're like that because of this type of a thing.
With your father. I don't know. I guess so.
Jesse Lee in 2014 in this clip from August 24th, 2014. It's a clip from a Sunday service. I don't know. I guess I want a relationship with my father.
Everybody, you know, I said, answer the question, man. Give me a yes or no. Do you want a relationship with your father? And he said, yes. And I said, why was that so hard to say? That's what's holding you back. And then I asked, do you love your father? And he, oh, no, I don't know why I need to love him. He didn't love me. He wasn't there. Do you love your father? I don't think so. I don't need to. Going on and on again. And then she said, that's a good question you're asking me. Do I love my father?
See, he finally broke through the crap. You could argue all day about black Hebrew Israelite stuff. But then when you talk about something real, he realizes, oh, it's not about being an Israelite or my tribe or my race. It's about my own father, where I came from. Blacks are like all about where we came from. I'm from Africa. No, you're from your father, and you don't know your father, or you don't love your father, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, nice.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Yep.
That was a great message by JL. I couldn't really hear it that well, but I mean.
Yeah.
I good
Oh,
message,
no
I
worries.
guess.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, but I just want to. I don't know if you found that funny or not, but
Yeah.
that's my
contribution
for that's my contribution for Black History Month.
Yeah. The fathers are history, and they used to have their fathers as much as, or maybe even more than, in some cases, the white kids. I heard, and I don't know if it's true. I heard that the blacks were married before having children more frequently than whites at one point in history. I don't know if
yeah,
that's true.
in the good old days.
Yeah.
But that's not here right now.
Yep.
But did you watch the State of the Union last night?
I did. I listened to it in some parts, and I watched it in others, and overall, I watched the whole thing.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
He showed. So I thought last year's State of the Union was awesome. This year's was even better.
Nice.
He showed absolute strength, and I'm so glad that he's our leader. Over what's her name? Kamala.
Yeah. Right.
And he showed the Democrats for who they are, and they're. I mean, everything he said was irrefutable.
True.
I mean, he about the SAVE Act and the voting stuff, and they just sat there like the inferior people they are, and had nothing to say.
Yeah. Right.
So I loved it.
You know what, man? He showed that he loves the country, and he expressed love for the country. He expressed love for the people of the country. He showed love, period. And I loved it. I really appreciated that fact. He brought up, I took a bunch of screenshots. One of the screenshots was of this beautiful gal, young girl, actually, who looks like a Hispanic girl, but that's beside the point. Maybe an American, probably. And this little girl got like damaged, maybe brain injury, not sure, but she wasn't expected, I don't think, even to survive. but she was hit by a truck. You know that the big semi that plowed into the stopped traffic. That
Yeah,
was this.
I heard Trump telling the story last night.
Yeah, it was like the second illegal. I think it was an Indian crash, and
Yeah.
I didn't even hear about like the victims. You heard about people dying and people getting injured, but this girl, she survived. She is with her father. And she wasn't expected to survive. I think it might have been the mother who said, "Oh, she's gonna live," or something. Maybe I'm thinking about another guy. I think I'm thinking of another guy. The mother of a
Well, yeah, there's so many cases of happening.
the mother of an officer who got shot, over in D.C. But yeah, it was so nice to see Trump honoring the people and showing acknowledgement to the people who've been unjustly suffering at the hands of people who shouldn't even be here.
Yeah, exactly. Trump's own words, right?
Yeah.
I heard him say that last night.
Wow.
But I mean, the whole thing was awesome. I love the Democrats' reaction because they had nothing to respond to because they know who they are, they know their agenda, and they know they're evil. So I mean, they had no other choice but to just sit there and let Trump be the teacher, and they were the students.
Yeah.
And the whole thing was great. My favorite part though was that National Guardsman that survived that terrorist attack in D.C.
Yeah.
I love that part.
Let's see if I have that. I think it's this guy, the guy with the hat, the young man with a mustache and a gray suit, and he was wearing a baseball cap type of a situation. Probably because he has a major head injury. He think he got shot in the head. I'm not sure, but his mother knew that he would pull through, and he did pull through. The woman, I think these are the parents. Oh, let's see. These are the parents of the young woman who was an officer who didn't make it. She died, but he got shot and he lived.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. And he got a Medal of Honor, I think, or a Purple Heart or something. And yeah, I think it was a Purple Heart. That was nice. And it was notable, too, that these are like white men who are like the heroes. There was a guy who I didn't know, but let's see. Yeah, this guy. Did you see the helicopter pilot who got his legs shot up in the...
Yeah, I saw that. That was sad, yeah.
I wasn't aware of that. Yeah, I was like, oh,
I wasn't
yeah.
either.
We got in and out unscathed, but we didn't quite make it unscathed. Fortunately, he lived, and he flew the helicopter, but even as he was passing out, he was saying to his co-pilot, "You got to take over. I'm passing out." And this guy got a Congressional Medal of Honor or something, but his legs were messed up because we went in and got Maduro.
I think Trump said that he gave him the highest medal you can possibly get.
Yeah.
Am I correct when I say that?
I think that's correct, as I recall.
Yeah, because I mean he a lot was on the line for him. You know, his legs and he probably could have died like right there on the spot in the helicopter.
Right. Oh yeah, blood was yeah, it was streaming down like the aisle of the helicopter or whatever the thing is, and the passengers aboard knew what was going on, and he just had to do it. And he turned it around so that his gunman could take out the people who were shooting at his thing. So right on, Americans. Much cleaner of a job than Mexico did with their cartel boss, you know? Oh,
yeah, I know. I've heard some about that, but I haven't really, gone in depth with it.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that Maduro knew that the U.S. was coming for him. Trump said that last night.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that.
And you know what? They definitely knew something was going to happen or something could happen, because Trump was putting up people and equipment and aircraft carriers or something like that along their coast and stuff like that. So they knew something was up, and they had Cubans there, and they were ready for trouble, but they weren't as ready as the cartel was ready for Mexico's army to go in and get their boss, which they weren't totally
Right.
ready either. But I prefer capturing our bad guys alive so that we can do stuff, have a proper trial and
Bring them to justice.
yeah, and it's much less provocative than to kill. Because if you kill, then that's provocative. If you
Yeah.
capture, then there's a little bit more calm, there's a little bit more hope, there is a sense of impending justice. Because killing, especially when it's debatable, people debate who's really the bad guy. So it's
Right.
nice.
No, yeah, I agree with all that.
Yeah.
I do have two really quick questions for you. I don't want to take up too much of your time like yesterday. I really didn't mean to yesterday.
You're fine, man. That was all me, I think. Go ahead.
Okay. So the first one it will be super quick. I know this question's been directed towards you several. I really haven't paid attention, to be honest, to your answer that much. What is a conservative to you in 2026?
To me, a conservative is someone who doesn't fall for the LGBTIQ equality mess or the women's equality mess. Equality is a lie from the devil meant to make you look at somebody else and be jealous or whatever, envious. A conservative is for men to lead and the right for white men to lead a white country.
Yeah,
And
correct.
the basic right to discriminate. A conservative is friendly to Christianity, whether or not a conservative is Christian himself or herself. A conservative respects men, loves everyone, loves white people included, but also loves black people and even loves illegals. And it loves the gays, but not a false mama get along with everybody love. Like what
Right.
Mark thinks of when Jesus said, love your enemies. He goes right to kiss up and bow down and stuff like that. Loves the Jews,
Yeah.
but doesn't necessarily agree and go along with the Jews.
Right.
Uh,
I agree with that.
yeah, so that's what a conservative is. A conservative is basically Christian friendly and agrees with the Christian principles and not the communist type of Christian. The false one, the devilish mama spirit one, not that one. It's a father's love, not a mama emotional love.
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said. So
Is there
do you
anything
think,
I left out? What would you say?
Well, if I were to say what is a conservative in 2026, I would simply put it as preserving what the founders intended for this country to be, what they wanted for this country.
Yeah.
And everything you listed, aligns with that.
True.
So when you say like love the illegals and the minorities and stuff, would you agree with me? The common sense thing would to be love them from like a far away, from like
Yeah.
a separate distance.
Love them as you put the criminals in jail or deport the illegals. Maybe some exceptions to the rule. There's always exceptions to everything, but it's not
Right.
rampant exceptions where like Obama level exceptions.
Yeah,
He
exactly. I
created
agree
whole
with
categories of exceptions that he refused to deport. Yeah, love means doing what's right, calling people wrong when they're wrong. JLP is not afraid of confronting somebody when they're wrong.
Right.
And that's how Jesus was. That's how Paul and Peter were with one another in the Bible, I think. Loving people enough to not to go along with them rather than this
Right.
going
Yeah.
along to get along stuff. There is a time to get along. There is a time to just whatever, think what you want. Because you can't argue
exactly.
all the time. But yeah, that's what. So loving the so-called minorities and the LGBTs means not agreeing that same-sex marriage is a good idea for the country.
Yeah.
Or even
Exactly.
or not agreeing that this transgender agenda that they've been pushing is good for anybody.
Right.
I'm not for suicide. And I don't think that thing even helps with suicide. But the communists try to push, they've infiltrated the medical and science so-called community, which is so politicized. And so
Right.
they've deceived many people because most people are not, they're detached from their common sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with all that. I wanted to ask you because I heard that, I've heard the question being floated around several times, but I just haven't really paid attention to your answer, to be honest. So
Yeah.
I
It's
agree
sort
with
of an
all that,
eye
man.
roll question because we've heard for years, you probably have too, what have the conservatives conserved? The conservatives
Right.
have caved to liberals in so many ways. And a conservative might say something that a liberal would agree with, but a liberal means it in a different way from a true conservative would mean.
Right. Like release the Epstein files. They don't have the same meaning.
Yeah,
You know?
totally. Yep. Exactly. That's a great example. Even in the morals, the stated morals, a communist can quote the Bible and a biblical principle and a moral that Jesus espoused himself, and they have no idea what they're talking about. So,
Right.
or they're
But,
deceiving. They're purposely deceiving people.
but part of the reason me asking you what is a conservative is because there's so many phony conservatives out there,
I know.
and there's so many viewpoints. I just want to get. I'm not calling you that, but I just wanted to see your, what you have to say and what a conservative is in 26.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there are just so many bad examples out there of conservatives.
Very
It's
true.
humiliating.
Yeah. Yep. Nice,
But
man.
yeah, my last question, and you can just give me a yes or no, whatever. Is Trump Hitler?
No, he is not.
Okay, good, thank you. But, okay, how can Trump is extremely pro-Israel.
Yeah.
Hitler was not very, he wasn't very, he
I
wasn't the biggest
think-
fan of them.
I don't know if Hitler didn't. I mean, Israel didn't exist at that point, but I think Hitler
Yeah.
may have been for them having an Israel. Or am I wrong?
Well,
that he could send them there.
He was against. He was against the chosen people specifically.
Right, but it seemed like
He wasn't. Go ahead.
I feel like there have been people who were against, who did not like Jews in their own country, so they wanted them to go to Israel.
Well, I mean, they've been kicked out of it for 109 countries.
That's what I've
historically.
heard, and those have been throughout thousands of years. Even
Yeah.
yeah, and they're not just all Muslim countries, according to what Cesar told me from AI or something. Cesar looked it up for me, and he mentioned, I think it was Cesar, and he mentioned it on buymeacoffee.com months ago, and it was like in the 1200s, the thousands, and these are like English. I don't know if it was English countries, but it was European countries in many cases. And
Yeah.
it was, and I don't remember if it had to do with usury and stuff like that, bank type shenanigans and merchant shystery type stuff, or what. But yeah, I mean, they're
Right.
just they're disruptive.
I can't believe I even
I've
had to
heard.
ask you that because that's a literal question. This, the left pushes that he is Hitler,
Right.
and he's nowhere close to Hitler. I wish Trump was more. I'm not going to say it for the sake of your show, but I wish he was more radical.
Right.
In terms of being a dictator and stuff, because that's what we need. Like even right now, today.
There's he might even agree with a lot of the things that you say that you want.
I think he does.
But it's kind of like Obama. Obama was far more radical than the country allowed him to be at that time.
Right.
Biden was able to push more than Obama was because the country had fallen so far morally in terms of its good sense.
Right.
I think Biden was kind of able to do that. But and the socialists, the communists, wished that Obama was more like whatever a communist is, even though he was. But he wasn't able to do stuff, so he had to play like he's mainstream. Similarly, Trump has to play along with the mainstream, which is normie, liberal, socialist
Right.
mess. So he has to be
Yeah,
sort of
I understand that.
yeah. So a lot of these people are complaining that, oh, he's not deporting enough. Oh, he's backing off of Minnesota. Oh, he's going into Iran. And I don't know about the Iran situation, but
Right.
Trump historically dealing with the foreign nations, as foreign meddling goes, Trump does a much better and less destructive job at it than these incompetents and these communists like Biden and Obama
Right.
and even George W. Bush. Bush was probably better than Obama foreign policy wise, actually. But
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
but Trump is a man of peace. He's for peace, and
Right.
a lot of times the world refuses peace. Ukraine and Russia are refusing peace so far, but he knows how he's quite restrained, and some people give him credit for it, but yeah, nice.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he's automatically labeled a racist because he's a white conservative.
Yeah,
And I know, every president does this, and I know it wasn't his first time doing this. But for example, like I was watching the Black History Month event that he hosted. I wanted to vomit when I was watching it, but
yeah,
he's nothing that the left accuses him of. Nothing.
right.
He's nowhere close to Hitler.
Yeah.
He had nothing to do with Epstein.
I
It's
saw
all
a clip
just
on IG, and I think Big Bump saw it too. That he did an appearance on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air back in the '90s, and
I saw that.
those blacks loved him. And he was
I know.
always in with the blacks. He hosted Jesse Jackson, one of the. I mean that doesn't make him a friend of black people to host Jesse Jackson, but he
Right.
was just a normie boomer liberal who is friendly
Exactly.
to the fellow New York liberals, such as I guess Jesse Jackson was sort of I don't know if he was New York, but he had a Rainbow Push thing in New York in office in his building, Trump Tower. So
Right.
he was like always just almost falling over himself to appeal and kiss up and be nice to and love black people and everybody. He's like a colorblind American, which is not a good thing, but
Exactly.
it's not what they're pretending.
I agree. And then other black activists, not Jesse Jackson, the other one, just still alive,
Al
the old
Sharpton?
one. Yeah. I mean, there's pictures of him with Al Sharpton
Yeah.
and Jesse Jackson, and they want to call him a racist. Give me a break.
Yeah,
Give me a break.
totally.
Anyway, I don't want to take too much of your time, Hake. I'm sorry.
No problem, sir. I appreciate you, Hayden. Take care.
Nice talking to you. Have a good day.
You as well. Michael, Canada. What's up, Michael?
What's up, man?
Hey.
Yeah. So, man, I can't let it slide, man. So, yesterday, someone said it was HADEN. So,
Are you on a speakerphone or a Bluetooth, or are you speaking into like a toaster?
no, I'm at work. Maybe it's not working well. I'm on my headphones right now.
Oh, okay. If you have to be on your headphones and you're at work, then okay, I
Is it
guess.
all right? Do you hear me well?
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems to be sure. I can take my phone if you want it.
Yeah, let's do the regular phone if you can.
All right. Give me 2 seconds.
Yes. 1.
All right. You hear
Two.
me well?
Yes, sir.
I don't, but it's all right.
Much better, sir.
For the radio show, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Sorry you can't hear me as well.
Yeah, I can't hear you, but my phone is like, I got another phone, but this phone is like my shop phone, my work phone.
I see.
I got a hard time to.
I'll just try to talk heavily into the mic so I'm loud.
No, don't worry, man. Anyway, I won't take a lot of your time.
Okay, go ahead.
It's just that the thing with I'm Canadian, your future president, is that a lot of people talk about him, but they don't seem to listen to him. Maybe they listen to him, but they are not listening to him. You understand what I'm saying?
Explain.
Like HADEN yesterday said that Nicholas was becoming pro-Epstein, which is not true at all. Why does he talk about Epstein so much? Is that because people are reading into the files wrongly. Like they think he's a Satanist, he was a pedophile, he was this, he was that. But in fact, this man was maybe an abusive person. But first of all, he was Jewish. And I don't hear a lot of people talking about that. He's from this
That Epstein,
Jewish coalition.
that Epstein was Jewish. Yeah, that's true. He was.
Yeah.
He was. And you hear his voice. Oh man, I was surprised how Jewish he sounded. New York Jewish.
I'm not
specifically.
American, so I don't understand quite this thing.
Okay.
I thought he had a New York accent.
Yeah, New
But,
York accent is kind of like a Jewish accent. So if you have a New York accent in your high pitched voice, people might think that you sound Jewish, even if you're just New Yorker. I don't know.
But you know, like there's some people that I like that are Jewish. Like everybody likes Adam Sandler.
True.
You know.
Yep.
But this guy, he's from that big Jewish kebab. When you read his mail with other Jewish people, he talks about goy like they are the stupidest people in the world. And that's what people don't seem to understand, that this guy was in this big coalition of Jewish people, billionaire Jewish people, taking advantage of politicians and people known by the public to, in a way, blacklist them. And like people are talking about the guy who was transferring money to someone named Paul. Like it's not even true, man. And yeah, so the thing with Nick and Epstein is not that he's pro-Epstein. He's just tired of people talking about these things when, in fact, this man was probably a Mossad agent. There's no true proof that he was. But that's the big thing with that. All right, he was a pedophile. He was not even a pedophile. But you ladies are not ready for that conversation.
Yeah.
And so that's that. It's like all these things are taking you away from the real problem. Like this guy was a billionaire. He was a Jewish, and his goal was to work for the Jewish people, like all of them do. It's a tribe, and that's the thing about that. And about the quarter zip, Aiden, it's a joke. Do you know what a joke is?
I don't know what
It's
you mean about the quarter zip, sir.
The USA quarter zip, Epstein quarter zip.
Oh.
Like Nick
You're talking about because
right
he's selling a quarter zip of a USA quarter zip. Our future president is selling Epstein merch. Epstein looking merch, Epstein inspired merch, like a viral blue quarter zip sweater mimicking one that Epstein wore that had USA on it.
And women like people are, because people are behaving like women when it comes to the subject. It's a joke. You know what is a joke is, man? So
yeah, definitely.
So, man, I don't like when people talk about Nick and they don't really listen to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I can't let that slide. So take a listen, take a minute to understand what he's saying, and maybe, just maybe, you'll understand that this man is on your side. He's your future president, and after that, it's going to be Barron Trump. I love this guy, man.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's a fan of Nick. And when he said to Joe Biden, it's on. Now, I mean, it's on. And he's going to be the next president, too. I'm pretty sure about that. Did you see the guy at the State of Union?
You're asking if I saw Barron Trump?
Barron?
I did see Barron. I saw what looked like Barron Trump at the State of the Union. Yeah.
With his mama.
Yeah.
And this guy got so much aura, man.
Yeah.
Like, his father's the president. He's a billionaire. His mom is like a supermodel. And, man, this guy got a long way to go, man. I'm pretty sure about that. He's going to be the next president, too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure about that. And so that's it. That's all I wanted to say, man. Keep give some respect to my homie Nick, man.
Right.
Because he knows a lot. He's a well-read, well-spoken person. And I know people are like boomers and like women. They don't like the way he speaks, but that's the way of his generation. He got a whole generation behind him.
True.
And, yeah. When I see some people like that, man, it makes me proud, bro. Makes me real proud. And, yeah. So
Nice.
that's what I wanted to say, man. So have a nice day, Hake, and I'm out.
All right. Thank you, sir. Take care. Ah, you got me good. Alex, California, on the line over here. Alex, thanks for calling, sir. What's up?
Nicky Bear,
Hey,
how you doing today?
doing fine. Thank you.
You feeling healthy and mentally well?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
That's good. Good to hear.
Yeah.
So yesterday there was a little bit of pearl clutching and oh my god over pot, and
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of counter Alan a little bit. I won't be mean about it, but I feel like I must do this. Speaking for myself, not on behalf of degenerate potheads or whatever.
Right.
I feel like you guys are super judgmental. I don't know if you're aware of it. I know we're not supposed to be judging people, but definitely Alan and you a little bit were included in, you're calling people degenerates and stuff. I know it's like not a big deal, but it is judgment at the end of the day. And I just kind of wanted to compare myself to Alan as a pothead degenerate. So basically, like, my daily routine includes going to the gym, eating well. I do dog training where I rehabilitate very aggressive dogs to the point where they're able to be with other dogs and people again.
Nice.
I do mixing and mastering to a point now where I'm charging people and they're happy with what I'm doing. So, and I've hit all my goals on my drumming. So like in the past 2 years, I've actually been aspiring and hitting all my goals. And it just kind of seems unfair. Like I'm doing all this stuff that the average person couldn't do or wouldn't have enough energy to do. And at the end of the day, I'm still summed up into one word as just a degenerate. And I don't know, I just think that's a little unfair coming from, I'll pick on Alan more than you, but Alan probably doesn't know how a bench press operates. I don't think he's ever done a deadlift in his life or maybe touched a squat rack. I doubt he probably cares about eating well, and it seems like he's probably just got his nose in a book all day or watching the History Channel. So I just want to know, comparing myself and what I do to that, where's the pot like holding me back, or where is that making me like worse of a person or more degenerate than Alan, who's just sitting around reading books all day and puffing up his intellect?
Alan in Michigan, you're referring to the 80-year-old man, Alan?
Yes. He really clutched his pearls and made it sound like someone was making a nuclear bomb in their closet when they were growing like a pot plant or something.
Oh,
You guys need to grow up a little bit, man.
That's right. He said his friend. Well, I don't know. I reacted to it maybe more heavily than he. But yeah, okay, so Alan in Michigan, I recall him saying he does gardening. I think he does eat pretty healthfully. I don't know what he does at 80 years old. He sounds spry, but I can't say what he does all day. But when I said degenerate, I definitely wasn't thinking of you. Why are you saying that?
I don't like the idea of summing people up in one word when they're like still doing stuff that's, I know it sounds corny and stuff, but someone who's like serving their community, like, but they smoke pot, they're still a degenerate. I don't know.
But that's not what I was saying. I was talking about the notion of if I remember correctly, when I reacted to the case of the guy growing his own pot stuff, that sounded like an illegal thing. I don't know when it was that he saw his friend do this, if it was before or after the legalization push, but you hear about these illegal pot growers and stuff like that, and it sounds like crime. It sounds like something that you're not supposed to be doing, but you're doing it, sneaking around.
Like a plant or two in the closet in a little pot versus like Mexicans with fields and stuff. I don't know. There's a big difference there.
That's true. Or like a living room full of these things. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
inside of a house. Yeah, I don't remember what the situation was, and I was maybe only half listening when he was talking because I sometimes multitask, which is a flaw. But
Well, nobody wants to talk about this stuff. I get it. It's a boring subject. So.
I like this subject because it was we were talking about gummies, and a guy called in saying he takes gummies, which are pot gummies.
Yeah, David sounded like he had a few too many gummies yesterday, to be honest.
To calm themselves down because they're angry and high strung.
Right.
But there is a universal defensiveness. I'm saying universal, but it's seemingly like universal defensiveness among quote unquote potheads, where they will kind of puff up and be like, well, what about caffeine?
What about alcohol? Yeah.
What about alcohol? What about caffeine? And they'll purity spiral. And I'm for being pure to a point, on things like this, because
I'm not a whatabouter, but there is something there to that.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Maybe we should deal with those things too, of course, like people's reliance on other things to feel better.
Well, the fact that we're using it to chill ourselves out, that was my excuse for the longest time until I came across Jesse. And now I've got my anger in control, and I realized, okay, it wasn't the pot. And the reason I use the pot is because it physically feels nice. It feels nice to put on a warm sweater in the cold. It feels nice to eat a hamburger. It feels nice to put on a new pair of pants. It feels nice to smoke. That's all it is to it. And for me, at least, it's not this. It's not like this religious thing, or it's not. I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's not really that big of a deal to me. It's like drinking coffee. It's just a physical, nice sensation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I realized after, listening to Jesse and dropping the anger. So I think that the using it to chill ourselves out, that's absolutely an excuse. But I think it's more of just like it feels physically nice. And it's something as simple as that.
Well, man, you sound, correct me if I'm wrong, you sound irritated by our characterization.
I guess if you want to use the word offended, yeah, but it's more summing up people in one word despite their fruits of their labors or whatever you want to call it.
But do you realize that we weren't referring to you specifically?
Yes, but I mean, I have to kind of, well, I don't have to, but I just chose to kind of get offended on behalf of all of us potheads, because there's got to be at least 2 or 3 more people like me who are hitting the gym and eating right and smoking. Like,
no,
it can't be all of us that are retards,
I noticed that the good kids nowadays are doing crazy drugs, and by good kids, I mean people my age and younger. And they've
stay away from all that.
They've done it or are doing it. And like normal people are doing pot nowadays, and like businessmen do all kinds of crazy stuff. So it's like common.
It's been like pushed down the totem pole, because all the kids are on well, back in my day it was like Coke and Molly and stuff. I don't know what they're doing these days. It's probably worse, but I just wanted to kind of make the point that you can be a pothead and you can help people and you can be physically fit and strong, and you don't have to be this useless retard. And one last thing, like, the people that should probably be smoking pot are people like Alan, bookworms, intellectuals. If Alan sat down and smoked a big old doobie and pulled out one of his little books, he'd probably be amazed at the words, all the thoughts that would rush into his head, things he's never thought before, but he's afraid of it for whatever reason.
Would you want to talk with Alan in
yeah,
Michigan?
we keep it quick. I don't want to bore people. I know they hate my calls. So
no worries. Alan in Michigan, you're on with Alex in California.
Oh, Alex, I don't believe I ever used the word degenerate. I'm just talking about one person. I knew a couple of people who are very heavily marijuana users. I don't know anything about gummies. And as a matter of fact, I do have some CBD salve in my medicine chest. So I'm not against marijuana. In fact, I think people should be able to grow it whatever they want. use it wherever they please.
Okay.
That's my position. And by the way, for many years I belonged to the Chicago Health Club when I lived in the land of Lennon, Illinois. So I'm familiar with workout equipment. I don't have it.
That's good to hear.
I do have an exercise machine. And, of course, my hobby in the summer is out in the garden, digging and planting. So, yeah, although I'm 80, I guess I'm doing okay. I'm not trying to defend myself. I just don't want to be saying that because you're using it, just be careful. Just be careful with it, that's all.
Doing something because it feels nice, is that really different, Alex, from doing something to calm down? Because doing something to feel good indicates that you want to, something's
Like
missing,
you
you
don't
want to
feel
feel
good
good.
and you need it to feel good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah, I guess a fraction. Yeah, is that what would you describe that as, like degenerate behavior? I need to press the button to make me feel good.
It's sort of like I don't know if I would call it degenerate, maybe, but it depends on like how crazy. Degenerate is such a strong
Every
word.
3 hours or so.
Let's call it degenerate, and let's call it no different from the person who drinks coffee to feel good or eats sugar to feel good. Because you could be a full-blown Nazi about it and be quite strict, but there's everything in moderation type of a thing. But there's being aware of yourself and stuff like that. I don't know.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I think using it to chill yourself out is an excuse, and I've came to that realization. Like I was pretending that was turning off my anger when I can do that on my own.
Right.
Good point.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I misread what Alan said. Maybe I'm being a little too harsh, but I don't know. I get kind of a little bit irritated when people judge the potheads, just because I'm a super strong, healthy man, and I like to smoke pot. So.
Do you notice that potheads do get defensive?
Oh, absolutely. And then the first thing is what about alcohol?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. See, I used to be a drinker. I haven't drunk, had alcoholic beverages for years. Okay, wine maybe. But I was a Johnny Walker Black enthusiast. I wasn't a juice monster. But, yeah.
Juice monster.
What can I say?
Juice monster as in like a heavy drinker?
Heavy drinker, yes. That's
a juice monster means?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
I pretty much got my point across. I think just at the end of the day, like my main thing is physical health and being, you don't have to be Mr. Olympian, but as men, we should be strong and in shape. And if someone is judging like a pothead who is in shape, but they themselves don't even work out, I think that's a little out of line. So that's the only last little thing I want to say. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And let's hear some more calls, hopefully some more black stuff today.
I appreciate it, Alex. Take care, sir.
All righty.
All right. Alan, anything else? Go ahead.
Can't think of anything. And in fact, I was just going to sit back with some coffee. All right. It's a drug.
Indeed it is.
Sin senor. And I'll have to admit, but I will say one thing. I remember a couple of calls ago, and just to finish off here, the idea of cleansing the body. I had mentioned getting rid of these toxins we're assaulted with, and maybe, and I'm not a doctor, and I'm not licensed or anything, but I noticed that when I started doing a cleanse for getting rid of chemicals and parasites and things, I had a much better sleep, much better thinking and memory, and that could be the part of the reason. Again, I'm not diagnosing that. Maybe he's a little wound up and things like that, because these elements in the body cause us to not act in our own best interest, to not be calm, and to easily get angry. So I'm just putting that out there. I know the old timers from farms I used to talk to, once a year they used to have to do a body cleanse, and then they'd take Epsom salts or castor oil and stuff. And that was the old way of getting rid of, cleaning out your gut and getting rid of parasites.
Nice.
We do it to horses. Why not people?
Yeah, people get all kinds of crazy stuff going on in their bodies.
Yeah. And I know that, I think it was Fauci was warning people, oh, don't use the horse paste. Well, guess what I did? I went out and got some horse paste from ivermectin for horses. And I took it for a couple weeks just to try it out. Didn't hurt me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alan, I have a couple of super chats. Well,
Oh, I love your I like the super chats. Just let me say, people who do super chats, when you're sitting down at a typewriter writing out something, you got to think it out.
Yeah.
And they tend to be more compact and focused than just talking, between people, because there's a lot of lost time with that word. Super chat, like from Anthony and Eric Harlan, which I like. Yeah, they in a very short time, they get a lot of stuff in. We might agree with it, might disagree with it, but love the super chats.
Right on. Terry,
okay, that's it.
Terry says Hake plays classical music to his pot plants. Plant emoji. I don't disclose whether I play classical music or whether I have pot plants, but I disavow that as well. And then Walking Roscoe, Allen, Allen, I believe it's spelled, is 80. He sounds no older than 50, says Walking Roscoe. Very nice. So
I think it was the mama spirit that ruled me most of my life that gave me kind of a squeaky young voice.
Oh, that's funny. Well, right on. I'm glad that you're still spry enough to call into the Hake Report and share a little knowledge and wisdom, sir.
Well, the little wisdom that I have comes from God. So
right on.
And I'm not a sign from God. I just read a lot about him.
It's good to hear from you, sir.
Good to hear. Good. Well, thanks for having me on, and I'm glad I had a chance to interact.
Yeah. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye. David, Texas, before I get to the rest of the coffees on buymeacoffee.com, we're coming to the top of the hour here. David.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good. So, I spent a lot of my young adult years in recovery, what they called recovery.
Yeah, like
Mine
recovery from
consisted of,
like addiction, of drug addiction type of thing.
Yeah, drinking and drugging. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm probably lean more towards drugs than I do to drinking, but I've done a fair share of drinking as well. But in some of the rooms that I used to go into, they would call in AA, they called people that were sober from alcohol but still smoking weed. They called that the marijuana maintenance program. And and I don't know the answer to this, but my question is, did I understand Alex to say that he grows his own weed?
No.
Marijuana?
No, he
okay.
I think at least that's not what I understood. He was commenting on my comment about a story that Alan from Michigan told about his friend from old times growing his own pot. And I was like, whoa, degenerate. Right. Something like that.
Well, my question, not really to Alex, but my question really is, I wonder what the percentage is of people that grow their own and just use what they grow, or maybe give some of it to friends and whatnot. But I wonder what the percentage is. I would imagine that it's like super low. It's kind of like, to me, in my mind, it's kind of like people that grow their own vegetables. I want to do that, but I don't take the time, to plant and harvest whatever it is that I'm trying to grow. You know what I mean? And So the problem to me with marijuana isn't so much the chemical itself. It's that it funds a lot of other things. The money, the proceeds that come from marijuana sales, it funds a lot of other stuff. It gets the coke and the speed and the heroin and the fentanyl. It generates the money to get that kind of stuff done, and brought over here. So I've probably smoked at least half of my body weight in marijuana over the years.
Wow.
And it's not good, man. It's just, I don't know.
So
it's not good for me. I'll put it that way.
Your issue with the use of it in the industry in general is that it funds other bad things?
Absolutely.
That is, I mean, I'm sure that is one issue. There's a... to me, that's not the main issue for a person personally. It's kind of like what your comment reminds me of some people's issue with the pornography industry, in that it enables and funds bad things in the industry and stuff like that, and supposedly abuses the girls or something or other.
Right. I understand where you're going. Go ahead, finish.
And those aren't the issue for a person personally. The person personally is
correct,
destroying his own life or is holding himself back. And Alex is not one of those. Alex, it sounds like, is not one of those guys who's sitting around smoking pot and not functional.
Right.
Although
he definitely doesn't sound like somebody who's sitting on the couch and playing video games all the time and just getting high. No, I don't take that. I don't get that from him at all. And I know a lot of people that are, productive members of society and they smoke weed. I mean, that's, for sure. I know a lot of people like that.
That is one of the issues, is that people become bums more commonly per capita.
Sure.
When they're doing that, or the drinking too, is a major downer, I think, on people's lives and finance and all that too. But
absolutely.
Yeah, but those are like kind of side notes to like the spiritual. I mean, those are
absolutely. Oh yeah.
But the spiritual kind of escape and feeling good and stuff like that, and that's a concern for overeating and drinking and drugging and all and sex and chasing a girl, chasing women or chasing men and all kinds of stuff.
100%, 100%, and that's the thing too. Like you said, I mean, it's the damage that it's doing to your person.
Yeah.
To your soul and to and
it's like a false
obviously
god.
It does more damage to some people than it does to others. For me, it was a gate. It opened up
a gateway.
It opened up a foothold. Yeah, it's like and I don't even think I tried to close the door. Once I smoked pot when I was 12 and didn't smoke it again until I was like 15.
Okay.
But boy, by the time I was 15, there had been some things that had happened in my life, and as far as illness in the family, and it, for me, it was just, it was a perfect setup to keep me from feeling, or to try to get me engaged and feeling different than I was feeling about whatever was going on in my life.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the percentage of people is that turn into the bummish alcoholic and drug addicts either. I'm sure it's a pretty low percentage.
But it's enough that it's
certainly affected my life.
Yeah, I think that all of these things are destructive forces in society. How we've become more embracing of a pot and a stoner culture. We have all these movies over the recent decades making a big joke out of it and making it seem fine and
Right.
fun and all these
Sure.
and all these songs are like because I got high. You know that song by Afro
Right.
Man?
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
funny,
Oh,
but it's
that was
also
a theme song there for a while.
it's supposed to be like a warning about not throwing your life away, but it's people love it because I threw my life away. What a funny joke, and they accept it.
Right.
And this legalization, like in and taxation and stuff on the industry in like LA, I think that there's more illegal.
Oh, my God.
I think there's more illegal selling today than maybe ever because of the legalization has
sure.
made it so difficult to
Oh.
do it the right way because of the
For
all the
sure.
regulation and taxation and stuff.
Absolutely. I
It's-
mean, well, if I would have lived in Los Angeles during the time that I was like Los Angeles now, during the time that I was addicted to drugs,
Yeah.
and they just flung the door open and said, "Have at it." Oh my, that does not sound like the way I was going. That does not sound like a good recipe for anything positive. It sounds like a recipe for a death sentence for me.
Yeah.
Because I was having to sneak around and hide, and I mean, I couldn't do what I was doing and shoot drugs and smoke drugs on the street where I lived in Texas. There's no way.
Wow.
You still can't do that.
You
You still can't do that. But to be able to do that in an open market situation,
yeah.
oh my! It makes me sick to think about for myself.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Bill, the engineer, who's one of the co-hosts of
Yes, sir.
Punchy,
Oh, I know Bill.
of Punchy TV, I think I heard him make the point off air that the homelessness exploded across California after they legalized pot. And so I
Oh, for
wonder
sure.
if there's a correlation or a causation there that more people,
Absolutely.
people reefer madness is real, by the way. All these people saying it's fake. Now I don't have any. I disclaim
Right.
info may be false, but I think it's real. There
Right.
are people who go crazy with
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
For sure. And it's not, and like I said, it's not just the pot. The pot, I mean, I guarantee you there's an influx of people that have come to California as a result of the open market drugs and upstate from you guys, up into Washington and
Yeah.
Oregon as well. I mean, the people here, druggies, they hear stuff about California and they're like, oh man, I'd love to get out there because, like you said, pot's legal, and then, and now all these other drugs are legal as well. It's like a lot of people are going to make their way over there and then just bum off of y'all, because you've got it set up to be degenerate.
Colorado,
And that is degenerate.
Colorado was the first to
I have been a
legalize.
degenerate.
Yeah. Colorado,
Oh, for sure.
Colorado was the first to legalize, and look at their governor, gay.
Right.
Boom. Shout out. What a mess. Shout out. Shout
Yeah,
out
well,
potheads, shout out gays,
so
shout
I
out
guess
Colorado.
whenever I, and it's nothing against Alex. I mean, like I said, I think that he's definitely not me on marijuana,
Right. Yeah.
because me on marijuana, I want to go and get, some harder drugs. Marijuana's not enough for me.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're not two peas in a pod, but whenever I hear talk about drugs, it just reminds me of really kind of maybe how far I am separated from it, but how detrimental it was to me. And if it would have just been for a year or two or 5 or 10, it wouldn't be that bad. But I'm 57 now, and I mean, it destroyed, it destroyed a big portion of my life.
Yeah.
And, that's nobody's fault but mine.
True.
I mean, like what Jesse says, well, they're the ones that are, I was the one that was taking it, and if it hadn't have been there, there wouldn't have been a choice for me to have to make,
Right.
So I don't know.
What a mess.
So I appreciate you letting me call in.
And you, sir.
Yeah, I hope you have a great day. And again, I always appreciate all that you do, and all of the callers are awesome. So
nice.
In their own way. So I appreciate you very much, Hake.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, David.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye. Before I get back to your calls, Cesar or Cesar bought a coffee. buymeacoffee.com/The Hake Report. One last coffee I'm sending after your show on Tuesday, which was yesterday. I don't want to forget my point regarding what you said about my last coffee, he says. But I agree with your explanation on my last coffee. It's almost as if there's an agenda. His last coffee talked about, I don't know if it was Led Zeppelin, but in the 70s there were these bands that would sing about, or the singer who would talk about getting with a 13 or 14-year-old or a 14 or 15-year-old, something like that, girl, to do bad things with the S word wise. And it wasn't like necessarily considered like a rape or child and pedophile type of situation. Is that the young ladies, that's when they start to become attractive, is sometimes at that young age. Sometimes a little older, sometimes a little younger still than that, FYI, because girls go through puberty before the boys. And so they're of age, and it was so insane back then. So he says, which maybe that was insane in its own way too, but now we've gone the opposite extreme. I agree with your explanation on my last coffee. It's almost as if there's an agenda to infantilize people who are 14 to 25 years old. Yeah, Obamacare. Well, they'll keep you on your parents' health care insurance plan until age 25. What a mess. Because they're already messing with the economy so bad so that it puts pressure on people to stay home or with their parents. Some people will do it subconsciously, like how David in Ocala calling our future president a baby, even though the dude is 27 years old. Indeed. Laughing face with tears. My question to you, Hake, is why do you think this agenda is being pushed, if there is one, about treating people like they're kids and babying them and acting like they're kids when they're 30 years old or even 14 years old? A 14-year-old is responsible or irresponsible, but old enough to be responsible. Okay? Anyway, in my opinion, they are and also old enough to be sexual and pushing and sexual against one another. Anyway, in my opinion, they are pushing this agenda in order to further control not responsibly, as we will necessarily, obviously, in order to further control the population even after most people are legally adults. Yeah, at the same time that they're doing this, Cesar, they want 16-year-olds voting. People who are mentally brainwashed and impressionable. And that's part of the problem with these younger people getting with older people. When I was in 7th and 8th grade, 12, 13 years old, there was this classmate of mine who was with a 25-year-old who was in jail or prison. A girl with an older guy. She was white, Hispanic, white-sican. Anyway, further control the population even after most people are legally adults explains why so many adults live with their parents these days. Among other things, Cesar, you're right. And these other cultures are all about staying with your family after age. So white people who are more independent-minded might not leave either. In other words, treat adults like children and you'll be able to manipulate them easier. Yup. Another thing that explains this agenda is the fact that we live in such easier times. In a sense, that's so true. Bad times create strong men. Good times create weak men. What do you say? Yeah. And you're pushing for the young people to live in even easier times by not striking out on their own and struggling and living in roach motels and stuff like that. Like JLP said, he lived in a roach infested or stayed in a roach infested motel. He's sure he ate roaches while he slept. And it's sometimes something you got to do. There are young men who are like going homeless nowadays, trying to strike out on their own. And sometimes those young men are a little off. Shout out. There's a caller who's homeless right now, getting into fights with another fellow homeless guy in a shelter. Yikes, man. Don't get yourself killed if you're listening to Hake. I don't know if you listen to Hake. He's called in before. But yeah, man. It's the liberals and communists love exploiting the youth. Cesar or Caesar. It's a fact, Jack. Thank you kindly. Cesar on infantilizing 14 to 25-year-olds. It's true. Agenda. Popcorn. I want to weigh in on the exchange between you and Mark, where he asked whether you've taken money to promote a particular narrative. And you responded that it was none of your business. Yeah, he's like, did you take the 7K? Popcorn. Nunya. First, I agree with Mark on one point. A live stream with a couple hundred viewers is unlikely to attract funding from someone looking to push influence at scale. That's not a knock on you. It's just a practical observation. Yeah, so you can tell that he's insane even to ask. I also agree that your personal finance details are private. What you pay in rent, what the bond pays you, what your car payment, those are personal matters. But I see this as a different category, claims he. Popcorn. If a host is being compensated by a third party to promote specific viewpoints, that creates potential conflict of interest. It's not about prying into someone's private life. It's about transparency around influence that could shape the content itself. That's why you should follow my advice when I give my disclaimer, Popcorn, because money's not the only factor in what influences somebody. Take everything that you hear with a grain of salt, all right? No, like JLP says, know for yourself. Let it go in one ear and out the other. Your audience gives their time and attention to listen. Some also contribute financially to support the platform. Because of that investment, I believe there is a reasonable expectation, claims Popcorn, of transparency when financial relationships could affect what is being presented, claims Popcorn. The mama spirit, the control freakish mama spirit shared by Mark and Popcorn. You know something is wrong, Mark, when you're agreeing with Popcorn. The standard disclaimer at the beginning of the show, the views expressed don't represent your employer, you, the network, should be taken with a grain of salt, address liability and interpretation. It doesn't address whether there are outside financial relationships influencing the message. Well, Popcorn, money isn't the only influence, sir. Why is there some? I feel like there's something. Oh, never mind. Okay. The standard disclaimer. Yes, of course it does, because you don't know where anything is coming from. If there is no such influence, a clear answer would settle the matter. No, it wouldn't, Popcorn, because people wouldn't believe it. If there is, I believe the audience is entitled to know before deciding on whether to continue listening or offering support, says the communist, Popcorn. Do you agree with any of that? No, Popcorn, I don't agree with any of that. Because people are paid, and people are paid sometimes to support something, or people are paid because they support something, or whatever. And it's nobody's business. Also, I'm genuinely curious, what do you believe your responsibility is to your audience when it comes to disclosing potential financial influences on the content of your show? This is so communist. And in general, what is the responsibility you have to your audience who support you? I have no responsibility to my audience who support me. They give because they see the value in giving. They see the value in what I do, or they perceive value. Whether they see it or not is different. They perceive, they interpret that my content is valuable. popcorn. And they, out of their appreciation, or they just want to say something. Like you want to just say something and get your agenda out and ask questions and stuff like that, and genuine curiosity, supposedly, and stuff like that. And so the people who call in, they have their own agenda that is unknown. The people who super chat in, they have their own agenda that is unknown. The people who support, they may or may not have any agenda that may or may not be unknown. There was a great quote, Popcorn, from Bill O'Reilly, a boomer, in a book that I read. Believe it or not, I read it. It was The United States of Trump or something like that. And it said, anonymous sources, I think it was about anonymous sources. Anonymous sources always have an agenda, not always known to the person receiving the source. So there's always, and I get a lot of anonymous donations. People, I don't know who these people are. I don't disclose whether I know who you are, Popcorn. And so there's always agendas behind everything. And so it's dumb. Okay, so Based America First. Based America First. AF America First. 2 coffees. Trump's State of the Union highlights. Shook ACB's hand. Amy Barrett's hand. Coney is her maiden name. And then ignored her. I didn't see that one. Great job honoring service and loyalty. Indeed. Indeed. Here, let me show this to you. Service. That's service right there. This guy served. He flew the helicopter. Got injured majorly. Messed up his legs. And Trump is a loyal man. He loves the country. There's a 100-year-old man who flew in like World War II or something, and he did some awesome stuff. 100 years old. Got the, I think it was the Congressional Medal of Honor. There's Barron and his mother, the First Lady. Beautiful First Lady. I don't get how Pearl says that this gal, Ivanka, got work done. But anyway, nice. Yeah, by the way, side note, Slauson and Crenshaw intersection is going to be renamed Nipsey Hussle Square. What a mess. Blah! Inward. And then I'll get to your calls. There's some respect for other people. I forget. But there were some beautiful things. Hey, Marco Rubio. Big Marco now. 8 wars ended by President Trump. Okay, so going back to this. Great job honoring service and loyalty, says Based America First. Transgender. These people are crazy, referring to the pro-trans agenda of the Democrats. The Democrats are crazy. I'm telling you, they're crazy. Yeah. Showed demon rats represent illegals, not Americans. Yup. Abigail Spanberger had a rebuttal, and it revealed, Based America First watched it, so we didn't have to, revealed demon rat midterm platform, affordability and corruption. The VA, Virginia, not VA, probably, passing over a dozen tax increases, gave representatives a 150% raise. Clinton repealed Glass-Steagall, pushed subprime loans. Obama, too big to fail, zero interest rate policy. Obamacare subsidies. Biden, every demon rat state, 104 weeks to slow the spread. Wow. Yet somehow 40% inflation is from recent tariffs? Give me a break. Demon rats should listen to JLP. So much anger. Indeed, sir. Based America First. What a mess. The destruction of the country. So bad. Let me, before I get back to these coffees, gonna start off again back with Eric soon. State of the Union. I want to get to Art, Ohio. Art, thanks for calling, sir. What's up?
Hey, Hake, how you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Hey, you had a lot of good callers on here, but I like a lot of the people that was on here. But first thing first is that a drug is a drug, even alcohol or whatnot, and just trying to, I'm gonna be straight biased because when I was a stone cold liberal, I was just straight biased like a liberal. You see what I'm saying? And I'm saying this is my conservative side. Not half-step. You see what I'm saying? Just being full-fledged, like I'm a grown man. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I can't think like a 20-year-old. You know what I mean? We don't have the same mind. We have the same understanding because we all don't being 20 years old. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, drug is a drug, and weed is a drug. Alcohol is too. It's just we let alcohol be one of the things that we all can agree that we would let be illegal. You see what I'm saying? But we have let the liberal side of us, let everything slip and slide so far that we accept everything else.
Yeah. The slippery slope.
I'm saying? Yeah, so
and
now
we've gone
everything
too loosey-goosey. We've gone liberal loosey-goosey on the drug thing. And I don't know, it's an interesting situation for sure.
Yeah, but we don't accept everything else. Now, we thinking that, it's cool to let fentanyl. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's cool to let meth. That's acceptable. Here, everything is acceptable, and it's like, no, it ain't.
And
we need people.
And these users and abusers of drugs are victims, not criminals. They're criminals in many cases.
Mm-hmm.
And they're definitely not victims, unless they're 5 and you forced it down on them.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm a weed smoker. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And and if you know my past, I ain't gonna even talk about it. So
nice.
I'm not, and I never crossed over into doing anything else. You know what I mean? So I get it, and I understand, but it's the point in the principle that you need people that I need to have friends or people that don't do drugs. You see what I'm saying? Once you do drugs, or even weed, let's use that example, it makes your frequency go lower or high. It throws your frequency off. Once you use it even cigarettes, you see what I'm saying? It throws your frequency. You get to a point to where you don't know where your frequency is supposed to be straight level. You see what I'm saying? It's like your car idle. It's like your car idling. You see what I'm saying? When you get in and start it up, you can tell when there's something wrong with it, if you know your car. You see what I'm saying? But once you get high or whatnot, it throws your gauge, and then after you smoke for so long, it gets to be normal. But you lose some memory. You see what I'm saying? And you gain some memory. But I can listen to somebody else, like you probably don't do no drugs, and you can be talking about a story that you remember, and I'll be like, dang, I forgot all about that, just because you sparked me that thought up when you said what you said about something that you did when you was a kid. So it's good for people not to do drugs. We need people to not be doing drugs. And that one caller, he said, and this is what I agree with, his last caller, he said that he would go get weed or whatnot, and that wouldn't be enough for him. He needs harder drugs. And I'm Art as a straight stone cold conservative. As soon as he would go get them other drugs, I'd drop a stone cold stunner on him and lock him up. You see what I'm saying?
No, I don't exactly see what you're saying about that. What do you mean by like you being a law enforcement guy, you would lock him up?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's not stopping at weed where should have stopped there and even maybe quit that, but instead he's going crazier, and that's not good for him because you're going to lock him up.
Oh man, I would drop a stone cold stunner. I'll give him 2 stunners.
Nice.
And throw him in the back of the cruiser or whatnot, and and sit him down. We gotta have, depending on his age, we gotta have stuff to where we forcing these people off of drugs. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Straight out the gate, and then when they come out, they have an occupation they can be going to.
It's a gate. It's a gateway. It's just like everything. When you cross a line, whether it be stealing or pornography or sex or drugs or whatever, it's easier to cross that same line again and maybe eventually go even further. And most of the time, people do eventually go further and further and further. And a kid doesn't even understand how a grown man can get to such extremes and fall to such depths. But we grown people, we understand.
Yeah, for sure. And if I was a cop and I was walking down the street and I seen you with a joint, I'd give you the people's elbow right in your front yard. I'd take your joint right. You wouldn't even see me. You wouldn't even see me coming. They'd be like, man, Art, I didn't even see him coming. It's like he just came from out of nowhere, and I just hit you with I give you the people's elbow real quick in your front yard, and I leave your joint there, but you ain't gonna be there because I'll lock you up too.
Yeah, true.
Straight up.
Right on.
Everybody all loosey goosey, and then my main man Uncle Trump or whatnot, man.
Yeah, real fast. Go ahead. Sorry, I have to rush you a bit. Go ahead.
Okay. So I seen that when he was talking about Ilhan Omar. You know how we being older with.
She was almost crying. She looks like she was almost crying, and this woman next to her, I think it was a woman, like held her hand when Trump was talking about the Somali pirates.
Go ahead, bro. Hold on. So what else did you see? I seen something else too. You right, she was about to cry, but I seen what was that, a different type of cry. What type of cry was that you seen?
She was literally looked like she was physically upset and almost shaking.
Yep.
Yeah.
And did she have that look of when she was about to cry? Was it an innocent like, oh, I'm guilty cry, or was it like, oh, I'm gonna get you, you white honky, or you white you white C word? That's the type of look where that's the type of look she had or whatnot.
That much I couldn't tell. That's funny though.
Yeah. Nah, I can tell. Yep, it ain't nothing about that face look innocent to me. We gonna get you up out. We gonna make you walk.
When she's crying, she's lying. Sorry, pardon my interruptions of you. Go ahead.
Nah, you good. Nah, she'd be walking her butt right back across that border to Somalia or whatnot. See how many of them people will accept her in their country on the way. You
Evil
see what I'm
woman.
saying? But go ahead. Yeah, we see what you look. We see what you looking like. Nah. You think you gonna steal from us and we cool with it? Nope. We applying pressure. Thank you, Hake. I'll catch you later.
All right. Take care, sir.
Yep.
Bye. Ryan, Illinois. I'm going to try to get to all of your calls and supers. That's a tall order. Go ahead, Ryan.
What's going on?
Hey.
How you doing today?
Fine, sir.
I'm going to be quick. I do want to reply to your last caller, though. Drugs is good and fun. And if you can make kids get sex changes and you can have doctors kill you because you don't want to cope with life, I think people can choose to do drugs and get high if they want to. Cause
you sound like a good old Canadian liberal.
No, I'm just saying. So you think getting sex change for children is worse than doing drugs, or you think doing drugs is worse than changing the sex of a child?
I don't compare things like that. I don't know.
Exactly.
I can't give you an easy answer on that.
Well, I'll tell you,
they both sound bad.
Drugs ain't nowhere near as bad as that.
Okay.
Sorry to tell you that.
You may be right.
But anyway, no, I'm definitely right.
I bet you drugs led to that.
Drugs are cool, but you got people out here just going crazy. Yeah, I'd rather you do drugs than change your sex. If you're a boy, stay a boy.
Have you tried it?
Have I tried a sex change?
Yeah.
No.
Have you tried drugs?
Sex change.
Have you tried drugs?
I definitely tried a lot of drugs.
So then you're biased. You've tried one, but not the other. You're not one to say which one is better or worse.
Yeah, but if I believe in,
I'm being silly.
I know. If I believe in the good Lord, why would I try the other though? Like, what do you want me to go cut my manhood off, and then if I don't like it, are you gonna help restore it?
Right. Nice points, sir. I appreciate it. I got to run. Nice talking with you.
You have a wonderful day.
You as well, man. Bye. Before I get back to y'all's calls, sorry, I shouldn't laugh. I'm tempted to look. Did Ilhan Omar cry? But anyway, Eric, 5 coffees. Women give the most to the men who give them the least. Women only want one thing, what they can't have. That's why children don't have fathers. Nice. Nice. Yeah, these males, too giving. The wrong kind of giving. Eric on women. And also Eric with another coffee. You can't think subjectively with 5 coffees, he says, to see what's right. You can't think subjectively, meaning of yourself, to think what's right, to see what's right. All comparison, like what my caller just did about drugs versus transgender or whatever, or what Alex did from California about comparing himself to Alan's situation. All comparison is looking outside of self to justify behavior. Your pot smoking caller is thinking subjectively and through comparison because he's unconscious. He will, all caps, never know how unconscious he is until he eliminates everything he uses to regulate emotion. The ego uses people, places, and things, marijuana, to regulate anger. He says it, all caps, feels good to put on a sweater in the cold. What cold? He doesn't realize the cold doesn't exist. You know, a wise man has probably said a man is rich in the number of things he can afford to do without. As JLP has said, as you overcome your ego, you will want fewer things, or you will want fewer things. You won't want all this stuff, and so you won't be blowing all this money. And that's a point not just about pot, obviously, but about like food and clothes and going out and all kinds of stuff. Eric with 5 more coffees. Okay, subjective / comparison / whatever. What was a good point? He has a good point there. Ego. Pardon me. I like to take notes as we go along. Eric, 5 coffees, a point on the degeneracy of society. All suffering is caused by unconsciousness. Once you see that all societal degeneracy is caused by unconsciousness, the last thing you want to do is anything that creates unconsciousness. It's a spiritual battle. Everyone is asleep, or battle. Battle or battle or battle. Everyone is asleep. Zzz, emoji. Oh, so cute. And that's why you don't want to smoke pot. You, the real you. That's why it's called a spiritual awakening. Wake up. Indeed, everyone. So, potheads, don't compare yourselves to the judgmental people shouting degenerate just because somebody's growing a potted plant or two. Or somebody's asleep with a high-pitched voice and sounds like a bookworm nerd. Nice, sir. Nice. Thank you, sir. Okay, unconsciousness. Yeah, thank you, sir. Good lessons. And Cesar. Sup, hey, Alex, chill out, bro. All caps, laughing face with tears coming out. This is the second time he gets the phone call hyped up to defend pot users. I think dude needs David's gummies to relax. LOL. Lots of laughs out loud. You definitely got angry and couldn't control it when snapping on Alan. How come you guys keep on spelling it A-L-A-N? I mean, I know that that's a valid spelling of Alan, but another valid spelling, which is the one that he uses, I think, not to dox, even though I just did, A-L-L-E-N, doxed his first name spelling. you should seriously ask yourself 2 things, and this is coming from an ex-pot user myself, says Cesar, or Cesar. Can you really see how triggered you get when people talk about pot users? Can you see that you have an emotional attachment to it? Have you possibly created an identity with it? Number 2, I honestly was a degenerate user in my first years of doing it and then evolved into a functioning addict, which is what I consider you to be. Realistically speaking, how do you know if you're actually performing at your full potential? Yeah, that's an idea, and you want to drop the idea of full potential. But it is and the idea of I'm successful and I'm doing. Okay, what if you only think you're crushing your goals because you subconsciously set simple tasks that you can be proud of? Asks Cesar or Cesar. What about even having goals? Goals are for potheads, functional potheads. What if you do so much more to reach higher levels, no pun intended, without it? Geez, I just wasted this coffee to address Alex. Laughing face with tears. Great show as always, Hake. Dominican thumbs up. Don't listen to him, Alex. He's just a Dominican. Okay sign. White power. Just kidding. Look, W-P. Stupid. Dominican hands clapping. That I appreciate that. That's I think that's a valuable thing. And you know, you can look at lame old bumps on a log who are not pot users and judge them. It's kind of like the man praying in the temple and then seeing a bum saying, saying, I'm glad I'm not like him. Lord have mercy. Popcorn snuck in another extra coffee here. Thank you, Popcorn. If your doctor were being paid by a pharmaceutical company to prescribe medications manufactured by the company, do you think that you as a patient should have a right to know that? I don't care. If so, why? No, I don't think so. Because suppose Israel is good to promote. Because this is all about, did you take the 7,000, right? Not your business. And suppose it's whether what matters is whether the prescription is good or bad. There, sir. All prescriptions are bad. Presumably you would want, I'm being a little stubborn, sir, because you're pretending like blah, blah, blah. Anyway, presumably you would want your doctor to prescribe you what they feel is the best medication for your particular condition based on their expertise and not have that decision be influenced by money. Everything is, sir. This is why sites like this exist. openpaymentsdata.cms.gov. Obviously, your health is more serious than the content you consume on the internet. But I think the same principle applies here, claims Popcorn. People consuming content by a particular creator because they believe the creator is being authentic. You can tell whether a creator, at least I can tell, kind of. Like Trump. Trump is just real. He loves the country clearly. He is quite obviously capable. He is this, he is that, he is this, he is that. And the money aspect of who gives him what is utterly irrelevant to me. And whether that motivates him or not, utterly irrelevant to me because I can plainly see he loves America, and he does. And he's uniquely capable, has a can-do attitude, unshakable, confident man of God. But anyway, and the creators being authentic to what they believe in, not just being a mouthpiece for money. Authentic to what they believe in is sort of a communist mama spirit buzzword because it makes me want to spit. Because authentic has sort of become a liberal word. But I get you, Popcorn, I get you. This isn't about you in particular, Hake, but I think it's best to be, in general, upfront with people about your financial influences, which is a stupid phrase, honestly. And then it's up to the consumer to decide whether they would like to go elsewhere. Reasonable, unreasonable? Unreasonable, Popcorn. Saying I have no responsibility to my audience kind of says something about how you feel about them, in my opinion. I feel nothing about them. Sometimes I feel some things, and that's the mama spirit that you got to overcome. Popcorn. I gotta overcome popcorn. Lori, pot of coffee. I used to love pot. Gross, Lori. I'm with our future president. That's disgusting as a woman. Sorry, Lori. I'm not as extreme as him, but he kind of. I saw this clip where he's like, "That's disgusting. That means that you are doing all kinds of degenerate things involved with pot." Anyway, but that isn't necessarily the case. But it is worse for a woman because it's really bad for a man because it makes him lame. But it's also really unladylike, you know? But shout out to the ladies. I get that y'all, most of y'all have done it, fall into it because of this culture. It's degenerate. Now I know it's impossible to be present when I'm high. It made me feel real good. I used to love it. My body was strong, but my mind was weak because I needed to get high every day. Pot equals unconsciousness, says Lori. So deep. Lori, not on it. Not on pot. And on medical influences, financial influences. Pardon me. And Nicky bought our coffee. When you read my super chat on the JLP show, when you read it, you made it seem like I called all men who are lost horrible. That's not something I would ever say. Have a good one, Hake. I don't remember what I read. I don't remember your coffee, Nicky. I'll have to, maybe I'll see it again and get what you meant. I'm so tempted to go to buymeacoffee.com/GLP Talk and find Nicky. Let's see. Oh boy, Nicky. In the world. Okay, here it is. Is this it? Why is it so big? Okay. Fallen state guest. Oh, referring to has a fallen state guest. Young men and beta males who are already lost. It's horrible. Oh, I don't know. That's not how I saw it there, Ms. Nicky. I didn't make it seem like that to myself when I read it. But all men who are lost are horrible, Nicky. But you shouldn't say that because that's a judgment. And women are not supposed to be judging men. But objectively, they are horrible. Oh, I just went to Rumble. And I saw this Rumble rant. Nicky. Lost, horrible men. A Rumble rant from... There's no way I'm going to get to all of y'all's calls. Just FYI. If I mosey on up over here, Porkchop Express. Hey, Ryan, Illinois. On behalf of the white race, let me salute Black History Month by recognizing ingenuity. I celebrate blacks for inadvertently inventing the bike lock. Yeah, we didn't used to have to lock our bikes or our doors until the non-whites came into town. Started stealing. Oh, some whites stole, but it wasn't as frequent per capita. It wasn't you didn't have to lock your door most of the time. And now you do. Thank you, Pork Chop on bike locks. You know, because that Edward stole my bike. Don't say that, kids. Oh, boy. And there was another over here. I did see it come in. W. Eric says Cesar or Cesar. Eric with the win. He's by far my favorite Hakester. He's the most based out of all your listeners. I can't thank him enough for putting me on the great book he mentioned to me. ! That's cool, Everblazer. Glad that you're happy with his recommendation. Oh, no. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Here we go. . Y'all, we have 5 minutes to go. Oh, man, that's not good. And why is there no audio here? Let me see. Make sure that I didn't mute something. There we go. Yes, we the people. We the people? Question mark with a Israeli flag. Say yes to skywriting. Yes, skywriting. Yes, yes, yes. On Eric. Okay. We're out here. William 7 in California is on the line. He's been on hold for quite some time. Here, let me turn down myself. Just mute that. So, William 7, thank you for calling and holding, sir. What's up?
I don't know why I have to wait so long. Anyway, what's going on? Can you hear me all right?
You sound fine. Thank you.
Excellent. Hey, so I just wanted to shout out to the community. It's funny you guys are mentioning about that POT. And, you know, it's easy to slip into in a big city when you're like in a really big city.
Yeah.
And you work in big companies. So, yeah, kind of when I worked for when I was a car salesman, I may have slipped into that a little bit, but I did get out. But
good.
It can get before you realize that you're not really doing much. And it's funny what it does to your brain.
Yeah.
Literally, you can feel it, what it does to your brain. And, yeah, I did it for a little while, but I did get out of it. I realized I was going nowhere. And so, recovered from that, but I didn't have an addictive hold on me. So I don't know if that was just luck or genetics or whatever it was. But,
well, they say that they claim, and I don't know if it's true, that it's not addictive, but somebody made the point that it could be psychologically addictive. Because, you know, you're into something and you just can't seem to shake it because you have this belief that you can't live without it. But,
well,
yeah.
I'll tell you this. It does make your inhibitions go down in a different way than alcohol. Because alcohol do the same thing.
Right.
Your inhibitions.
Right.
But you're more functioning. You're not. Yeah, it can lead to other things.
Yeah.
And it did not for me, just kind of like Artie Art said that he didn't do that. And I thank God that I didn't go down other avenues.
Yeah. Good.
It is there. If you go and hang out with that type of people, eventually you're running into people that do other things.
Right.
And do want to sell you that stuff.
Yeah.
But I think maybe because I started so late in life, I knew better.
Cool.
It was just kind of a way to relax. And, you know, just as a testimony, I got out of the military, and then I lost both my parents. And so I was kind of a mess anyway. I was, you know, kind of aimless.
Yeah.
But I did wake up. And so I do think it can lead to bad things. And I don't know. That's what sin does. You start off just a little bit, but before you know it, if you just keep adding a little bit, you can be a mess before you realize it.
Totally, man. All types
yeah.
of things like that sneaks up on you. I remember I got fat by accident.
Right? And I was surprised who did it. Like, once you're in the club, they're like, oh, what, you do it?
Wow.
And then you find out all these people start admitting it, like housewives and people that look like they would never do it.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Crazy.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So anyway, I'm going to watch I downloaded the thing from yesterday, the president. So I guess I'll look forward to listening to that.
Cool.
Yeah. So, hey, just shout out to everybody, Artie Art and Alan and David Ocala and
nice.
Even Mark and Maze.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, just hang in there, guys. Stand for the truth. And that's about it.
Thank you, man.
So William number 7 will sign off.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. And, you know, guys, I have 2 priorities. Rick in Hampton, VA. It's been like days. And William III. And the rest of the callers, you shall be priority next time. Allegedly. Believe it when you see it, okay? Adios, America. Anchor Baby coming up next. Catch Punchy TV. Nice. Bye, y'all. Take care.